ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's time once again. It's time for that podcast heard, well, around a few places, by tens of listeners. It's time for the Department of Understanding Humans, the podcast. That's right, the podcast, featuring your ringmasters for the day, that stupendous giggle-snorting gal, Friday herself, Rachel Wynn, and now her co-host actually has a name, that cranky clown you love to adore, Kris Meyer. And on with the show!
D.U.H, Department of Understanding Humans, yeah!
Recording me now? Did we get through the technical difficulties?
We are recording. I have you. You are hot. I think I have solved all of the technical difficulties. Now you can...
Therefore? Praise be to He. Our technical difficulties have been solved.
We have avoided extra technical difficulties on this Sunday afternoon on daylight savings.
It's just messing everybody up, this time shift.
It is. It totally is. It's screwing up my computer. It's screwing up my recording. It's screwing up stuff.
It's just screwing up stuffs. How you been?
I've been okay. How about you?
All right. Been good.
Yeah.
Busy. But been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Cold.
It's nice. It's nice that we finally have this like wet, rainy fall weather that is fall. And
we went from 100 degrees beginning of the month to 30.
I love it.
At the end of the month. It's kind of nice to go through like 2 weeks of fall and then winter.
It's good. Yeah.
So
welcome to the deep south. It happens.
But by Christmas we'll probably be walking around 80 degrees in shorts with a tornado warning. So.
Yes, gotta love that. Isn't that just so fun?
Always fun. Always lovely.
Welcome to the deep south, people.
Could be worse. You know what ticks me off? You know what absolutely ticks me off?
Tell me.
You know what pisses me off since we're talking about drinking? Because, the holiday season means we're going to drink.
Right.
Don't put your damn Christmas decorations up November 1st. Don't. I mean, seriously, there's an idiot in my neighborhood who's got his Christmas tree up. Really? Really? November 1st. I mean, he had the Halloween stuff out. Bam. Gone. Christmas tree up in the window.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do we really? I mean,
yeah.
2 months?
Yep. It's, you know where my Christmas tree is?
It is in the basement.
I don't own one.
There you go. Because you buy one.
I either buy one or we just don't have one. Because I've never been a big, I have a fake one that's like a foot tall if I really want one. And it's in the closet somewhere under a bunch of other stuff that I still haven't sorted through. Because you get there. It just happens. But yeah, no, I mean, seriously, it's not necessary. People need to chill the hell out when it comes to holidays. Speaking of holidays and drinking,
There we go.
You know that I don't drink too much. Like, I really don't drink very often. I barely drank at my wedding.
Right.
Well, and the meds that I'm on, they kind of make me not process alcohol. So because they're diabetic meds in nature, the sugar doesn't get in my system. It just flushes right out. So it's like, hey, we're just gonna go straight to the bladder. Screw the liver. Just don't even bother processing. Just enjoy the taste of the wine. We'll see you in an hour or so. You might feel a little like smiley, but yeah, you're not gonna have any kind of response to alcohol for a while.
Right.
Until you try that gin. Try that gin. we've got
and then it's a whole new ballgame.
Right. We have the Flaviar tasting stuff that we get every few months.
Yeah.
So there are these vials of this gin, these types of gin, and there's 3 of them in a thing. And the husband will...
And where's it from again?
It's from Flaviar.
One more time.
Flaviar.
3 times in hopes for the sponsorship.
Flaviar.
There you go.
And they're so yummy. And so they're these really cool boxes that when you open them up, there's 3 glass vials that it looks like a science experiment. It's so neat. And so the husband will drink half of them, like half of each vial, and then leave half for me. There's about 2 shots in each vial, right? For a taste.
Perfect.
So, in essence, because he drank one to half, he drank another to half, and then the other one he just kind of took a sip out of. He wasn't a big fan. And so I was like, okay, so that's about 2.5 shots, 3 shots. Maybe, 3.5 shots. There we go. Okay.
Shots.
So I try it. I try the one gin. I'm like, hey, this is kind of neat. I've never really had gin. I've never been a gin person. Right?
And are you now a gin person, or is that train ended?
No, I think I could possibly be a gin person. So I have these shots, and I try them, and I'm like, hey, these are really okay. They were okay by themselves. I'm fine. And at 20 minutes later, he comes home from work, and I walk into the kitchen going, hey,
as long as you're not smoking endo and sipping on gin and juice, we are okay.
No, I'm too white.
Just get laid back with your mind on your money and your money on your mind.
So, okay, so that was the first time in months that I had any kind of long sense of buzz. I've had margaritas when we were out, and I'm like, hey, yeah, these are feeling pretty good. And then by the time we get home, I'm completely smack ass sober. That was a waste of money.
Right.
I didn't get drunk. I barely got buzzed. I barely felt it. Granted, they were good. The flavor was good, and it went well with my dinner. But let's be real. We add alcohol to things to calm us down or enjoy the moment. I'm not getting, if-ish, maybe a little bit. So I'm not feeling anything. Well, Smarty Pants over here decides that she's going to drink some red wine on Friday night.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Excuse me, hang on one moment. Warning, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Anyway, go ahead.
Don't try this at home, kids, okay?
So...
Oh, the pain, oh, the pain.
I haven't done this in a very long time. So the glasses I use are goblets. Technically... It's like a 6 or 8 ounce pour is 1 serving, right? So these goblets,
like a church goblet.
Right. So these goblets are kind of 2 drinks per cup. Let's just be real. So technically I drank a bottle of wine. And then because my night wasn't it was a Friday night, it was a late night, I kind of wasn't feeling anything. I thought, you know what, I'll just keep going with the wine. There's a bottle that's open. I'll just go ahead and have some more. This was a different version, a different brand. It was a Merlot instead of a Pinot. It was okay. It was a little acidic. It wasn't as good, but I drank it anyway. I had maybe 1 or 2 out of that, right? Which was the last of the bottle.
Uh-huh.
So technically, and it was a big bottle. Technically, I had 2 bottles of wine. Technically. It was only a couple glasses, but technically, it was 2 bottles of wine. Let me just tell you, my husband's never seen me like that. In the 2 years, we just celebrated our 2nd anniversary. And he's never seen me like that. And I walked in, and I flumped down on the bed, and I've got my face up against Apollo, and I'm like, who's a fluffy duck? He's a fluffy duck. And Dan's like, what's wrong with you? I said, I have drank entirely too much. It was a very interesting evening, to say the least.
You have had entirely too much.
Too much. Finally, my liver was like, yes, it's about time I got to work. Woohoo! Rock on! Let's go to work, boys. The next day...
Your liver is sitting back going, hey, we haven't done this in a while.
Let's play. So, Saturday... I drank water before I went to bed. I had aspirin before I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and drank water first thing and had some Advil the first thing, so I did all of the normal adulting. Oops, as I hit my microphone. I did all of the normal adult triage that you do after years of learning how to handle your liquor, right? But when you don't drink a whole lot, you kind of forget how to handle your liquor because you have no tolerance. And so when your liver does finally decide that it's going to process something, it messes you up. I slept as long as I could yesterday, and I spent all of Saturday on the couch watching Netflix. All of it.
Quack, 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 quack.
This is why you don't drink.
Rachel, how you feeling? How about I open these blinds? No! Oh my God, what is that glowing ball of fire in the sky? What is that?
Fiery
That's the sun,
orb.
Alfie. That's the sun.
No! Now, the upside of that was the dogs loved the fact that I was just laying on the couch, and they just laid with me, and it was great.
Right.
It was awesome.
Right.
Yes.
Well, basically, Rachel is learning how to hold her liquor.
I'm in my 40s, and I'm relearning.
Sorry, hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Since I've turned 45, there are things now I look at and go, "Oh my God, no, I can't do that anymore." And my body goes, "Why did you do that? Why?
Why did you even try? Don't even go near it. Don't even look at it. Just go away."
It just sits back and goes, "No, fool."
And it's like at 40, there's this switch.
The body just all of a sudden goes, "Yeah, we're not doing that anymore."
Yeah,
I used to look forward to going out, doing stuff, Yeah. Now my body's like, hell no. It's 7:30. I got my comfies on. We're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
And considering
TV, click.
Yeah, considering I work from home, I'm in my comfies nonstop. Well,
see that. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I actually went and had to buy new clothes so that I could actually go out in public and not be in a t-shirt and sweatpants.
See, yeah, I make myself, because I'm a work from home person too. I make myself actually get dressed
as if you're going into work.
As if I'm going into an office or something.
I think I should start doing that.
Not like, hey, I'm putting on professional clothes, but I dress like I'm going out in public and going to go work.
I should do that. I wonder, because it
puts you in a better mindset.
It does. Honestly. It would change your mindset. And you were talking about that. We've done that on several podcasts where you've talked about how getting dressed and caring about how you look really does make a difference. And I think that that's a really important statement, especially this time of year, because we're going into the holidays. And this is when people with mental health issues really have a hard time. The holidays just bombard different types of people in different ways. I know for myself, once you hit like Halloween's okay. I love Halloween. And I love that whole,
Yeah, but once you hit Thanksgiving and Christmas,
it's miserable. It's just miserable.
Especially if you deal with family issues.
Yes.
Because honestly, that's where half of the stuff comes from. Because let's face it, your family is probably the nuttiest damn stuff you will ever deal with. The most idiotic people to deal with is your own family, not your friends, not anything. And I have friends now that just go, yeah, I see my family all year long, but we avoid each other on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
What is it about those holidays that just brings out the absolute worst in people? There's supposed to be times of gathering in love, right? Be thankful for what you have. Thankful for your blessings. Okay. And I'm kind of like, okay, be grateful for everything that's happened through the year. We're going to round out the year, and we're happy birthday, Jesus, and yay, winter solstice and all that, whatever you believe. But those are the two poignant points of the year where family's supposed to, air quotes, supposed to get together and be the most loving and the most, but then it turns out that those are the two times during the year that even if you're a great family, even if you're the freaking Brady Bunch, you turn into shitheads.
Let me tell you something. When my grandfather was alive, he was the glue that held the holiday together. Okay? Because both Thanksgiving and Christmas, he loved them. Mm-hmm. And we loved being around the man. And if stuff ever happened, like it went or started going sideways, Elmer put his foot down and he wasn't having that shit. We are stopping that right now.
See, and I don't know that. Do we know?
But when he died,
yeah, that patriarch of the family just kind of that vibe is lost.
It was up to my dad to try to do things, and
how did he?
God bless my father. He just doesn't have the magic. Because between my dad and my granddad, they could kind of corral the women of the family. Well, when it was just dad, and dad was like, trying not to get me involved, 3-4 women against my father, he gave up and said, "Oh, we're done." And now, we have holidays how they are. And I don't want to air so much about my family. Don't misunderstand me. I love my family. I love them. But damn, they crazy. They're sweet. Jesus, they can make a holiday. Holy smokes. Even Cole, since she's got our first year, she was like, "Why are you getting so amped?" She said, "My God, you were acting like it's..." I'm like, "You just don't understand. You don't understand. We got to do this. We got it. And I'm sitting there making the bullet point list going, "Here's how the holiday's going to be. All right, you don't say this. This is what we don't talk about. We don't bring this up. Just do this. No, don't get that. It's got to be this." Because it's so tense during the holiday. And after our first one, she went, "Wow, I see what you were talking about. It's tense." I'm like, yeah, it's tense. As the day goes on, it just starts going more and more and more.
Oh, gosh.
And, now my folks are going away for They're going on a cruise for Thanksgiving. Thank God. I have encouraged them to do this forever and a day. I'm encouraging them to do this for
everything.
Well, not for everything, but for like Christmas. Because we only have X amount of people. My aunt now has her own world. She only wants to do things in her world, which is fine. They've earned it. They've done Thanksgiving, Christmas, oh my God, now for as long as I've been alive, okay? And they've never had a chance to do Thanksgiving, Christmas on their own. We've always had to truck up to Chicago or truck over to Atlanta or something,
right.
Okay? They've earned it. I have earned it. I don't care about that. I've earned it. I've earned my own holiday. Let me have it, sweet Jesus. When, Lord, when's you gonna serve it? Gonna be free. And my Cole, she looks at me in my sad eyes and my face when I look out the window on Christmas. She goes, "It'll be okay. It'll be okay." And I start crying like a baby going, "Lord Jesus, no, it won't be okay. We gonna have to deal with these crazy people." I don't want to. But I tease. I tease about... And I know there's people out there that are listening to us right now going, "Oh my God, he's speaking my pain. Holy shit. He has no idea who the hell I am, but he's been to my house."
Yes, but I love when you're like, "Oh, sweet Jesus."
Lord Jesus, help me. Help me. I've become my grandfather in a lot of ways. I everybody said, "Oh, you're going to become the spitting image of your dad," and all this thing. Yeah, and I adopt some things from my father, but I've become my grandfather more than anything else. My grandfather was a lot calmer on things than my dad on things. But I also have a very blunt way about me, like Elmer. All right. Here's a good holiday story for you. Here's a Thanksgiving story. So, my aunt married a man a few years her senior, and at times I don't think it sat well with my grandfather that he was 3 years younger than he was.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he was about 2 decades ahead of her. I don't think that really sat well with him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So one Thanksgiving, Gramps, you could just tell when Elmer started having enough, Thanksgiving was done. We're having the coffee and the pie, and Gramps is smoking his Lucky Strikes, having his coffee. And I don't know, they're having some round table discussion about something. and smoking, having a smoke, My dad, well, Pop, I think we should do this. I think this should be done. Excuse me. My aunt goes, well, Dad, I think this should happen. My mom, well, Dad, I think this should happen. Now, my aunt's husband goes, well, Dad, I think, and my grandfather goes, I'm going to say this once. He can call me Dad because he's my son. She can call me Dad because she's my daughter. She can call me Dad because she's my daughter-in-law and young enough to be my daughter. You're 3 years younger than me. Don't ever call me Dad again. I don't care if you're my son-in-law.
Oh,
now, I'm done. Thank you very much. You don't have to go home, but I'm going to bed. Good night. And he puts out his cigarette, takes his pie and his coffee, and goes to the bedroom. Now, it's an embarrassing story to hear, but at the same time, that's the kind of holiday we had.
Gotta love that shit. Yeah, gotta love it. Yay, holidays. So be good to each other during the holiday season, and remember that there are some people out there that are having a really hard time right about now.
Really having a hard time.
So be gentle.
So, anyway.
And enjoy your drinking. Drink responsibly. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, because, nobody gets you through the holidays like Jack Daniels.
Hey, Uncle Jack. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And on that note, I think that's a podcast.
I think that's a podcast. I think we're done.
I think we're done. And I'm going to hit stop right now.
Stop. Bye.
Stop. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us here at the Department of Understanding Humans, also known as DA. Just remember, this is our circus. These are our monkeys. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media outlets. You can find all of our podcasting streams and feeds at our website at www.dawebsite.com. That's D.U.H website.com. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great day.